This is Julian, and I'm here with Maximilian in Miami, South Beach, and what we want to talk about in this video here is how to be cool. 3 steps, 3 tips, 3 simple ways to be cool, to be a badass motherfucker. And step number 1 is find your thing. Okay, what do I mean by that? We always think, you know what, I must be like the other people, like the cool kids. What's their thing? How can I box myself into that? And it kind of splits us apart. We're incongruent. We're pretending to like things and be something that we're not. And if that's you right now, that is a huge mistake. Instead, what's your thing? What do you like? What is you? You know, what turns you on? What you got going for yourself? And learn to cultivate that, because that's what's gonna draw people in. It's not when you're trying to be something you're not, it's when you're you 100% of the time.
When I got into personal development and this whole success with women thing, I was like, why am I not getting results? Well, and then I would look at my Facebook page, I would look for reasons, because I would like add a girl on Facebook and she's not texting back, she's not replying back. So I'm like, must be my Facebook profile, so I go on it and it's like, hobbies, playing guitar, bands, Metallica, and I'm like, that's why. And I literally changed it to like David Guetta, you know, like that's what the cool people listen to,
like the
you
cool
know?
kids,
yeah.
David Guetta.
So I'm like, I like that, and then I'm like in my head, I'm like, it's gonna get me so many results. People are they're gonna see me as one of them.
Actually, that's a really good test right now. If I ask you, what's your favorite type of music? If you just list out like, oh, the top 10 of 2018 so far, hey, that's not your thing. If you have something unique to you, what is it when it comes to music?
Yeah, you know what? How about you write in the comments your favorite kind of music? Be full on open, like for the first time in your life, you can say if you like Scottish bagpipes. Comment below, I'd love to read it. If there's some cool people who have similar tastes as I am or similar tastes as you have, and I know you have a wacked sense of fucking music. Very, very wacked. And
I do have a tad. My number 1 of all time is The Doors, but then I also have a little guilty pleasure, which might be
I'm only human.
Emo girl band.
And I bleed when I fall down. I remember that song.
Okay, funny side tangent, and we'll get back to the be cool, but it's true. On the first tour we did together, we started traveling together, and literally every single day I would blast this song on a repeat. Every day, like 24/7, we had it stuck in our heads. Like it was insane, you know?
And that's Julian, you know, and I still liked him. I thought it was okay.
And we were like, I'm with this Julian guy. What's his Oh. Dude, there was one shot too. I'll have to see if I have it. If I do, I'll overlay it here. Where one of the camera guys like snuck in my room, and I was like working with the song blasting, and he like zoomed in on me, and I'm like, I'm only human.
And that, you know, and that's really like, just be yourself, find your own thing, and really fucking own it. Because yeah, it sounds so mainstream. Like life's too short to try to fit in. Like I tried to like listening to that shit. Like maybe it's just me. Like if I just listen more to David Guetta, I really end up liking it. But I was like, no, it's so bad. I just hated it. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your life, your precious energy, and trying to fit into something. But this is a big but, because this is not some mainstreamy. Just be yourself.
Find your thing, and that's it.
You know, no. There's a big but, and that's point 2, and that is
showcase it, express it in a calibrated way. You know, once you found your thing, once you're coming from a place of strength, a place of congruency, you got to express it in a way that, you know, where it clicks with other people.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, you know, emo music, and just like walking down the street, blasting that shit, crying in the street. It's like, no.
Right.
It's like, you got to make it relatable.
And it's so funny, because that also me was back in days like when I was a very unhappy teenager. I was never the cool kid, and every time I would be invited to a party, in my head I'm like, again, like I was like, oh, just be yourself. You know, that was before the David Guetta thing. I'm like, just be yourself. That's what my mommy told me. So we had this house party and everybody's chilling and, you know, listening to the music, and I'm like, I'm gonna teach them what real music is now. Avenged Sevenfold, you know, blast the metal, and everybody's like all the girls like, ah, you know, and all the guys like, bro, come on, you gotta be white, you know, just don't play that music. And I'm like, fuck you guys, you don't even know what's good, fuck you, death to all but metal, fuck you guys. And everybody's like, let's not invite him next time, you know. And I'm like, but you know, like, again, it was so unrelatable. It's a fucking party, young Max, people want to chill. It doesn't mean that your music is shit, but right now it's not the right point. Like, calibrate a little bit, understand what people are doing. And I would just like run around and judge people. Like, if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, you know nothing about life. Fuck you. And it's just like, I mean, obviously, I was just a hurt little teenager who had his ego all up. But again, and that resulted in me not making it relatable to other people. I was judging other people. I would say they're shit if they like something else, if they're not like me. And obviously, that just estranged people. And it pushed me further and further away from people that I actually wanted to belong to.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you really got to learn about social dynamics here to know what the context is, to know when, you know, you should express it, how you should express it. And another thing too, it's like we said, find your thing, but in reality it's find your thangs. You know, there's more than just one. Don't be like this one thing type of person where it's like, you're the Metallica guy, and that's it. You know, it's like, have a little more going for you. Don't just be this one-dimensional, Metallica. So what do you think about this day? Metallica, you know? That's like, I mean, I see it's like the guy's like, I'm just gonna harness this, and you're just that. It's like, no, you're not a one-trick pony, okay? And tip number 3, step number 3, learn to handle social pressure. And this is something that, I mean, it's not pumped at all in the mainstream when it comes to being cool. It's like the cooler you get, the more social pressure you're going to have to endure. The more people are going to stare at you, the more you're going to be tested, the more hate you're going to get. It's not necessarily comfortable to be cool. We think, once I'm cool, I'll finally be at ease. It's like, no, to be cool, you got to get uncomfortable, and you got to be okay with being uncomfortable.
And that's what attracts people. Like, what makes like an alpha male? It's that person who's able to lead his tribe and like fend off all the other tribes. Like, on the top, it's very, very tough to stay on the top. Like, the higher, how's it called? The higher you grow, the farther down you can fall. And it really is like that. So imagine yourself being on top of your social circle, and you're the club promoter and all these things. This is not a relaxed position. You're in a position almost it's almost like responsibility. And you got to grow along with that responsibility. You got to be okay with that. And that's what attracts people. They're like, I feel safe next to this cool guy. That is why I hang out with him. I always know, like if I go on this cool road trip with this really cool guy, if our car dies down, he's gonna know how to handle it. And that's what makes me, quote unquote, attracted to that person. That's what makes me want to hang out with that person. So you got to be able to handle these social pressures. And it also means you got to be able to defuse conflict. Because there's always going to be people pitching at each other. And if you're the guy who says, yo, everybody come down. Let's have a fucking good time. Let's have a merry, jolly good time here. Everybody will look up to you, but it will be in your responsibility as, quote unquote, the cool guy to step in and be like, yo, let's do this. Let's all chill. Let's relax. Like, one of the best examples is Elliot Hulse, actually. I've hung out with him here in Miami. That's why I thought about it. We were all hanging out. It was Elliot, Gregor Gallagher, Nick, and I, and all his crew members. We were like 10, 15 people. We were at Brazilian barbecue. I was the only vegetarian there. And we're all just like talking and snapping and da-da-da-da. And Elliot was just sitting. He was sitting at the very end of the table. And he's like, man! And it was literally like complete silence. He's like, let's enjoy it a little bit. Let's talk to each other, not be on our phones, shall we? And everybody's like, yeah, Elliot Hulse. And it was so cool. Like, again, like, and he was basically risking coming across as a dick. Right? But he doesn't, because we respected when people step up for a quote-unquote good cause.
Yeah, and do this too, back to point 2, in a calibrated way.
Exactly.
You know, you might be hearing this like, he's right. And you're out to dinner with your friends, and you're like, men! And they're like, what the fuck is this? You know, it's like every 2 minutes, men! No, okay? And that doesn't mean, you know, proactively, like, go out in public and start, like, screaming in a store, like, see, I can handle it, everyone! That's low social intelligence, low value, not cool at all. So those are the 3 steps to be a cool, badass motherfucker. And if you want to go even more in depth on this, I know this is something you talk a lot about on your channel. I'll put a link here below. Check it out, click it, subscribe, be cool.
Or go home.
Or go home. Be a loser. Don't be cool. Want to be part of the cool kids?
Subscribe to the channel.